trade deadline has come and gone in the NBA. Super Bowl has come and gone. So definitely got a lot of different things I want to talk about. Before we get started, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like the videos, comment anything, you want to talk about or how you feel about the topics of the videos. Social media, definitely make sure y'all tap in Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are on all those platforms. I will drop those down in the description. And yeah, like I said, just make sure you guys subscribe. I'm going to be trying to push some more content out for you guys, definitely. So we appreciate all the support. I'm going to start off with the Luka and AD trade. So basically, if you've been under a rock, after defeating the Knicks in Madison Square Garden around, I want to say, 30 minutes past midnight, the Mavs and Lakers completed a trade for Luka Doncic and AD. I mean, this was a stunning trade. It was like the most stunning trade ever in my lifetime that I've ever experienced. It was unexpected. It was no rumblings of Luka being, on the trading block or the organization being unhappy with him. AD had just came out actually publicly on an interview and said that he would like the organization to trade for another center to help him out, and not he wanted to get traded, but that's what the organization did. As more details came out about it, it came out that the Mavs GM Nico Harrison, I believe, actually presented the idea to Rob Pelinka, and so it wasn't so much that the Lakers just wanted to trade AD, but it was more so like when you get presented a 25-year-old superstar, you kind of got to make that move. So a lot of people were wondering why would the Mavs trade Luka. I guess it's started to come out that night that, like I said, the Mavs organization just was unhappy with him. They had concerns over his conditioning issues. I believe they didn't feel confident offering him the Supermax, or they didn't know if he would stay for the long haul or whatever. I think they tried to make it seem like it was more so on his side as the concerns for the Supermax. And, during Luka's, introductory press conference with the Lakers, he said that just wasn't true. He saw Dallas as home. He was big on loyalty, and he was loyal to the franchise. He wanted to be there. The GM, Nico Harrison, basically just said that, I believe defense wins championships. He explained that, and that explained his motivation for a deal for Anthony Davis. He said, I believe that getting an all-defensive center and all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. So my take on it is, I still feel like the Mavs GM is just in the wrong. I feel like, it's been protests outside the Mavs games. Like, nobody is messing with this move from their side. I love AD as a player. I feel like he's arguably LeBron's best, teammate that he's played with. Just how the two games feed off each other. But, when you presented Luka Doncic, who's a top 4-3 player in the game, you have to do that. That's 25 years old. That's like your future right there. So, and then, the owner of the Mavs just came out and kind of backed the GM. I just don't like how they really throwing Luka under the bus. He's only 25, like I said. If you have problems with his conditioning or his weight, whatever it may be, I think I would work with him to get those problems solved, since that's my franchise. I wouldn't be so tempted to just throw him out there. And then especially, you trade him to the Lakers, who are, a popular franchise, and it's like you just did them a favor almost, to a sense. The trade caught everybody by surprise. I don't believe any of the players were aware. Even LeBron wasn't aware. But from what I've seen, I don't think LeBron has any problems with the organization or Luka. AD put a post up on his Instagram. LeBron commented on it. LeBron actually made a post directed to AD, saying his goodbyes or whatever. So yeah, that's basically it for that trade. As far as who I think won the trade, I don't think the Mavs are far off from being a contender this year, but we'll get into, some things kind of holding them back that's happened, recently. But it's gonna be hard for AD and Max Christie to go in there and try to replace that void that Luka left, because those fans, man, they are upset about that, and it's almost not fair to them. But I think they'll get over it eventually. But the Lakers, like I said, you get your star for the post LeBron era. LeBron's 40 years old. Now you have somebody to transition the keys to the franchise over to, and Luka Doncic made another move, or attempted to make another move. We got to see what's going on with that. They tried to get a center, Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. Ended up trading rookie Dalton Knecht and Cam Reddish, and I believe they did a pick swap and maybe gave him another first-round pick as well. And so we thought maybe Mark Williams would make his debut last night as well with Luka, but it's come out since that the trade was actually rescinded by the league or by the Lakers or whatever, because Mark Williams failed his physical. And so in sort of an odd situation, these guys have to go back to their original team. So now the Hornets have come out and actually said they're like trying to appeal the Lakers' decision to rescind the trade due to the failed physicals. Because at this point, the Hornets are looking like they tried to trade a bad, not a bad player, but they look like they tried to trade bad goods, and they were aware of the situation. And maybe they're saying the Lakers are not operating in good faith, because why is it up to the team receiving them for their physicals to be it? Like, you trying to make us look bad, so we're going to appeal it. So, the Lakers need another center. They need a big, but they don't need a guy who's, failing physicals. He's not going to be there for the foreseeable future. Mark Williams was 23 years old. He was brung in temporarily to be the center of the future. Right now we only have Jackson Hayes on the roster. Maxi Kleber came over with Luka, but I think he fractured his foot, so he won't be evaluated for another 2 months towards the end of the season, and that's not even saying he's coming back. And then what's his name? Christian Wood. He's been out as well. So I don't know. I'm not mad about Dalton coming back. I like Dalton Knecht. I think he'll fit in well with what we're trying to do, with Luka and LeBron. But it'll be interesting to see what's going on with this. Since the Lakers rescinded this trade, after the trade deadline, they're kind of limited on options on what they can do at the center position. So you're going to have to try to go to free agency in the buyout market. And, it's slim pickings there. So we'll see what's going on there. And, from there, we'll transition to the Lakers and Jazz game last night when Luka made his debut. The Lakers won 132-113. That's their 6th in a row. I believe their 9th win in the last 10 games. The Lakers are all the way up to the 4th seed now. So they've been playing some good basketball even without AD, without Luka. And now Luka is added to the fold. Luka didn't really do much last night. He's getting his win. He's getting his legs back under him. That's his first game since Christmas. Only played 24 minutes. He had 14 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. LeBron, 29 minutes, 24 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, almost a triple-double. Rory had 21 points. Reeves had 22. So, the Lakers look good. They got the scoring. They got LeBron, Reeves, Doncic that can operate the offense. I see a lot of people having concerns about the fit with those three, or like even LeBron and Luka, but I don't see it being a problem offensively, because first of all, you have a smart head coach in JJ who knows how to set stuff up. You got 2 high IQ players in Luka and LeBron. Contrary to what a lot of people think, LeBron is actually an excellent off-ball player. He just hasn't necessarily had the trust in D'Angelo Russell or to play off-ball, but he's let Austin Reeves operate the offense. And even, we close the game sometimes with Austin Reeves, so that's not a problem. So adding Luka to the fold, that's nothing. LeBron understands that at the end of the day, he's going to push Luka the same way D-Wade pushed him when he went to, the Heat. Like, the first year the Heat didn't work out because they were deferring to each other. And, D-Wade had to just tell LeBron, we're going to go where you take us. This is your team. And I feel like now that's kind of come full circle. LeBron's going to tell Luka, this is your team, and we're backing you. We're riding with you. And in return, LeBron's going to teach him how to be a professional. Teach him how to maintain his body. His conditioning, all the things the Mavs had concerns with. So it's really I think Luka got a chip on his shoulder. I really feel like the Lakers can do something this year, honestly, because a lot of people saw this trade and was like, okay, the Lakers aren't going to do anything now, but this is a long-term move. And I wouldn't be so sure about that, especially as they get time to gel. They got one more game Wednesday before the All-Star break, and they could potentially be looking at being, I think, like 14 games above 500 the first time since 2021. So shout out to JJ Redick. He's doing a phenomenal job. And shout out to the Lakers. Moving on, like I said, I want to touch on the other side of the trade briefly because I think, like I said, the Mavs are pretty set up well with Anthony Davis and the bigs they have going on over there. But AD was dealing with an injury before he went over there. You're like, wow, we had him. And he played in the Mavs debut. He was going crazy. And then he got hurt in the third quarter. I believe it with the same injury. So, and then last night, Gafford was helped off the floor with a knee injury, and Lively was already out. So they getting pretty thin at the big man positions. I mean, they went from a team that it was like a strength to now it's like you're pretty weak there. And so we'll have to see how that goes. I think the Mavs definitely are positioned well to still contend. Like I said, Kyrie Irving and AD, that's a dangerous duo. And then, just the length and the defense they have is going to work for them in their favor. But it's kind of just going to be like, man, it's like you looking at this trade and you like, the Lakers are doing this over there. And then the Mavs, everything's going on. We got the owner taking shots, the GM, the protests, the players getting hurt. It's like it's just all piling on right now at the worst possible time. So it's going to be rough over there right now, but I still don't think that they are in a bad spot. I don't think they're necessarily a loser of the trade in any sort. And then while we still on it, we'll just touch on the trade deadline. A few moves that was done that was noteworthy. I'm not going to touch on just every move. Right off the top, I see, Ingram landed with the Raptors. Brandon Ingram landed with the Raptors. I think he just signed a 3-year extension of some sort. I'm not sure the exact amount or, years, but I feel like that's a pretty solid move. The Raptors, most people, I would say they should really be tanking. I mean, they roster's already kind of doing it for them, but I feel like Ingram, the lineup they could potentially have, Scotty Barnes, Ingram, quickly. They got some guys over there that can potentially fight for a play-in spot in the East. I mean, it's not like the East is a murderer's row of competition. So I like that for them. Probably the second biggest move was Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors from the Heat. I like that move. I don't think it's like a championship needle moving type of move, but I definitely think with the Jimmy Butler saga in Miami, you just definitely had to get him out of there. It was reported that him and Pat Riley just weren't seeing eye to eye. Pat Riley was kind of trying to play hardball with him, and Butler just wasn't going for it. He was showing up late to meetings and the the plane. He was just doing whatever he could do to really just get out of there. And he went to Golden State. And Curry's been more room to operate on the court now, and he look like he's 30. I think he dropped like 30 points 4 games in a row. So it's like, man, he's going crazy. So that can only help them. But we'll see how far it necessarily helps them go, because I think they're like the 10th seed right now. So they got a lot of room to go. But the West is so close. You win 4 games, it ain't nothing to be in the 6th seed. Like, the West is separated by like a game. You can lose 2, be down in the 10th seed, win 2, be up in the 6th. So we'll see how that go for them. The Hawks traded DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs for Karis LeVert, Niang, and 3 second-round picks, and then they flipped those 3 second-round picks to the Clippers for Bones Highland, Terrence Mann. I don't necessarily understand why the Hawks traded DeAndre Hunter, in my opinion. Like, I feel like all those years that you probably people were clamoring for you to trade him. You didn't. You hung on to him, and now in his best season, now you move him to the first team in the East. Like, that don't make sense to me. But I mean, I guess they figured they get better value for him, and they brung in 2 players, essentially 3, because like I said, they flipped the 3 second-round picks to the Clippers for Terrence Mann. But I don't know. I personally, I don't know what the Hawks are doing. I feel like it's only a matter of time before a trade is the next. All right, yeah, my camera had cut off. My memory was tripping, but I think I left off on the DeAndre Hunter trade. But yeah, like I said, I don't really understand why they did it. Like I said, I was on the Trae Young part. Yeah, I just feel like Trae Young next to get shipped out, bro. I know Trae Young be trying to be loyal to the team and all, but I don't know. I just don't feel like they building a real contender around him. They just haven't shown the ability to do so. So I feel like he's gonna have to get out of there. I don't know how much memory my camera's gonna allow. So if I seem like I'm rushing a little bit, just chill. We gonna section the video off so y'all can chapter. Go ahead where y'all want to go. Speaking on the trade deadline, still, the Bucks made a move for Kyle Kuzma. They got Chris Middleton out of there. I feel like that's a decent move. Middleton's injuries kind of was catching up to him. Kuzma is a younger guy. He can kind of bring a little bit more energy to that team. Now, can he go back to playing championship level basketball? Because playing on the Wizards for a little minute, you just over there doing whatever you want to do. But yeah, like I said, I think that was a pretty good move for them. The Bucks also got Kevin Porter Jr. from the Clippers, but like I said, we're not gonna go over every little move. Oh. No, this was the second biggest move in my opinion. The Suns acquired De'Aaron Fox from the Kings. The Spurs, my bad, acquired Fox from the Kings. That's, man, like I've been telling everybody that will listen, like, if I'm a star or if I'm a young player, a free agent, whatever, I'm trying to go play with Wemby. Like, he's the next thing in the league right now. It's evident. So for him to get in his second season to already get somebody to come over there as a star like Fox, like that's a nice start. And they was able to they were able to keep Castle. So that's a big move. Like, they got some nice pieces over there, Chris Paul, Vassell. They got some nice pieces over there. So that's an example of building something around your star. Like, you see how it didn't take them long to build around Wemby, and that's what I'm talking about with the Hawks. Like, I just don't feel like they've given Trae Young, and I'm not even saying those are on the two same level of talent, but it's like, if I'm your franchise player, build the roster around me. Like, I feel like they just now kind of was doing that, surrounding him with the wings, like Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, Ricochet, and, getting a defensive guard next to him and Dyson Daniels. But it's like, y'all ain't been building a roster like that, so I don't know. But like I said, with the and the Kings, they got Zach LaVine back from the Bulls. I believe this was a 3-team trade. I don't really like Zach LaVine going over there. I feel like that's just like the Bulls for real. Like, you was back with DeRozan, and you have a center that's not all world on defense, just how you had in Vucevic. Now you just got Sabonis. But I mean, I guess they leaned into the offense. They had to get some. You just lost 25 points per game with Fox, so I guess you regained it back with Zach LaVine, and it was about time for him to get out of there, out of Chicago anyway. But I mean, I don't really see that doing nothing for them. And yeah, I think that was pretty much all the trades that I really wanted to get to. So y'all let me know down in the comments who y'all think won and lost the trade deadline. It was definitely some stars going elsewhere. On the topic of the NBA, let's get into some of these the teams. Let's get into the teams, the All-Star teams, because we are I think the All-Star break is this week, to be honest. So the Kia Skills Challenge, we got Team Cavs, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. We got Team Rooks, Ricochet and Alex Sarr. Team Spurs, Chris Paul and Wemby. And then we have Team Warriors, Draymond Green and Moses Moody. 3-point competition. Starry 3-point contest. We got Jalen Brunson from the Knicks, Cade Cunningham from the Pistons, Darius Garland from the Cavs, Tyler Hero from the Heat, Buddy Hield from the Warriors, Cam Johnson from the Nets, Dame Lillard from the Bucks, and Norman Powell from the Clippers. Slam dunk contest. We got I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name. Matisse Bazulis from the Bulls, Stephon Castle from the Spurs, Andre Jackson Jr. from the Bucks, and Mac McClung from the G League. Two-time defending champ Mac McClung back in the dunk contest. Um, and then so from the official NBA Communications PR Twitter page, they say for the first time ever, fans will play a direct role in crowning the next AT&T Slam Dunk champion. The collective NBA ID member score will be presented by the basketball content creator who will serve as this year's inaugural NBA ID member rep. So, besides the fact that Baron Davis, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, and Jason Richardson are the judges, I guess the fans will also work to judge the competition. So, those are the little challenges we got. Let me see if I can find the. Y'all want to know the celebrity all-star roster? All right, man. Like I said, I told y'all gonna have to work with me. The camera cut off again, so once I got that more under control, we'll have a full episode on there. But yeah, I'm trying to get these all-star rosters for y'all. Team Shaq. I'm sorry, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, who got replaced by Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and like I said, Kyrie Irving is the replacement for Anthony Davis. Team Kenny, he went with Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. Team Chuck, he went with Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is injured and got replaced by Trae Young, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, Pascal Siakam, Alfred Sengun, Karl Anthony Towns, and Donovan Mitchell. Goddamn, Team Chuck got some last names on. But it basically seemed like Team Chuck kind of went with like the international flavor. Team Kenny kind of went with the young guns, rising stars kind of, and Team Shaq went with the veterans. So it'll be interesting to see the new format. I won't judge it before I see it. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of the play-in idea or the NBA Cup, but those have been pretty successful in my opinion. So I'll reserve judgment until I see the All-Star format played out. But yeah, that's what it was. So we're definitely gonna talk about some NFL. Transition to, I guess we can just pick up on the big game. Eagles defeated the Chiefs, stepped on the Chiefs, just abused the Chiefs, abused Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Total final score was 40-22. That honestly doesn't even describe the domination that was played out. The Eagles completed their season, 18-3. Pretty much was dominant from start to finish. It's kind of crazy that we kind of started the year questioning Sirianni if he would even have a job. Him and Jalen Hurts not being on the best of pages, I guess. Then you get to the point where AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts kind of having their issues or whatever's going on. But the whole time, they still was winning games, withstanding things. Saquon Barkley seems like he was the missing piece of their equation. He was just a monster all year. And not really much to say on it. The Chiefs was going for the three-peat, shot at history. They didn't get it, but I don't think this is the end of their road, their dynasty. They're pretty slated as long as they got Patrick Mahomes to be there in that equation every year. Haven't really talked about anything NFL playoff related. So like the road to get there, we saw a lot of teams like the Commanders were a surprise for a lot of people. They got the NFC Championship game, fell to Philly, but they beat the Lions. The Lions was another surprise. A lot of people didn't see that coming at all. Like it just felt like it was meant for them, but they just couldn't overcome the decimation of their defense. They were pretty banged up. The Ravens, Lamar, I don't know. I think me personally, I feel like Lamar does not elevate his game in the playoffs. I feel like the NFL media kind of wants to coddle him in a strange way. It's like he's above criticism. And I don't agree with that. I feel like if he's a great player, which he is, he's a two-time MVP, then he has to show that in the playoffs. I know like people say quarterback wins are not a quarterback stat, but it's like they aren't until they are. Like you don't want to use them in a situation where it doesn't apply for the specific person you're talking about. But I mean, what great quarterback that's like one of them ones really didn't win, or at least get his team to position to win or play like he he wants them to be in position. I just feel like he's not playing MVP level football in the playoffs, and Mark Andrews is going to get a lot of flack, which he deserves some. He had a fumble and he had that drop, but Lamar Jackson also had 2 turnovers as well. So it is what it is. And then the team they lost to, Josh Allen, he once again loses to the Chiefs. I don't know. I mean, you just at some point you have to get over that hump. They're not going anywhere. If you want to get to where you want to go, you're just gonna have to get past them. And I don't know. So those guys are just gonna have to find a way to do that. It's not for lack of roster talent. All of those guys are playing on talented rosters. You got to find a way to, like I said, Josh Allen won MVP. Controversial to some, not really to me. I feel like he was already deemed to win that all year. Saquon Barkley won Offensive Player of the Year. That not really an argument for me there. I feel like it's kind of crazy that Jamar Chase didn't receive a vote and he was the Triple Crown winner. I feel like that's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Pat Surtain, cornerback of the Broncos, he won Defensive Player of the Year. He was the first cornerback in 5 years to win that award. Jaden Daniels, after his impressive rookie season, he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then Jared Verse won Defensive Rookie of the Year from the Rams. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell was voted Coach of the Year after his 3rd season in Minnesota, and Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow was Comeback Player of the Year. Me personally, I feel like Dan Quinn in Washington should have won Coach of the Year because I'm like, I kind of judge it based off where you took your team from the previous year to the next year, like the improvement. I feel like he had the biggest gap of improvement. Like nobody thought Washington was going to be in the NFC Championship game, and then like they just said, he did it with a rookie quarterback. So I feel like he should have won that award. Like Kevin O'Connell does a good job. He's been doing a good job since he's been over there, but the Vikings weren't in the gutter. They just Kirk just got hurt last year, and then the season kind of went down the drain. But it's not necessarily like this year. It was a surprise. I mean, it was kind of a surprise due to them having Sam Darnold, but I don't think he deserved it more than Dan Quinn. That's just my opinion. We do talk a lot of Falcons content over here. That's my favorite football team, and since I just did bring up his name, Kirk Cousins kind of was in the headline because he went on Good Morning Football and he revealed that he actually was dealing with a shoulder and a elbow issue during the season in Week 10. And that was kind of the start of the skid of our season. That was a 4-game losing streak that started in Week 10. And he couldn't throw a touchdown. Like we all know, he couldn't throw a touchdown, turnovers. But the reason I want to touch on it is kind of big is because he's trying to make it seem as if we didn't do our due diligence and put him on the injury report, which could potentially result in us losing the draft pick or fines. He's already cost us a 5th round pick because he couldn't keep his mouth closed about us talking to him prior to when we were allowed, or talking to his medical team or whatever. So the situation between them, basically the Falcons and Kirk at this point, really is just Kirk probably his camp wants to get cut so he can determine where he goes, and the Falcons would prefer to trade him so they can recuperate some type of asset for him. The money is already wasted. I think in March, whenever the start of whatever the new league year, he will be doing additional $10 million. So if the Falcons cut him before then or designate him as a cut before then, they won't owe him that. But he's going to count towards the dead cap on our team. Like I said, it's a lot of things they can do cap-wise to manipulate that, spread it across 2 seasons or whatever. But it's just going to be money wasted that you don't have that to a team. You need the money to recuperate or to revamp the defense. Like I said, we only have 4 draft picks, so that just means it would be nice to trade Kirk for a later round pick. Guys like Kyle Pitts, Grady Jarrett, these guys might not be in Falcon uniforms next year, so we'll see what they do. I don't put blame on anybody specifically like Raheem. I just feel like I've been saying we already said what's up with that situation. Raheem should have benched Kirk sooner than he did, even if he didn't think he was hurt. But I don't think you can say he knew. If Kirk said he wasn't hurt, then I would think Raheem would take his word at face value because they have a working relationship for years. So why would Kirk lie to me about that? I think Kirk probably did lie about it because he didn't want to, you know, sit down because he knew Penix would take his job. But I don't know. Like anybody can see Kirk wasn't right. I don't think the injury is an excuse for all the turnovers he was throwing. He still was playing like crap. But I don't know. Why now, Kirk? Why do you decide to reveal that information now when you honestly could have just been on the injury report, probably had a out as to why you weren't playing or playing how you were playing? Because like I said, we listed him on the injury report and he said it was a clerical error. But if you actually look at the game and the tackle that was made, I'll attach it to here. You can see he gets hit on that shoulder and that elbow pretty hard. And after that game, he just wasn't the same. So it all adds up. But, it is what it is. Just briefly go over these NFL head coaching positions that was filled. I'm sorry, I'm over here trying to pull them up briefly real quick. Like I said, man, while we're about to get out of here, make sure y'all definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, man, it's appreciated all the support. I finally found the list so I can stop rambling. So Chicago ended up going with Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator. I like that move for them. I think, with Caleb being a young quarterback, he definitely needed an offensive-minded coach. I feel like they kind of like Chicago they set their quarterbacks up in the worst possible way because they keep bringing new guys in, but then they fire the coach the same year. I mean, his offensive coordinator didn't even make it the whole year. It's come out that his offensive coordinator wasn't watching film with him. I don't know how much that's true or not, excuse me. But yeah, like I said, I like Ben Johnson over there. I feel like he'll get the best out of Caleb. He'll get the best out of that offense. It'll be interesting to see, if he can do it somewhere else besides Detroit, and it'll be interesting to see if Detroit can replicate their success on offense without him. So that'll be something to look at. And also they're in the same division, so he'll see them twice a year. So let's see if they can get that together. Mike Vrabel ended up going to the Patriots. I just feel like the Patriots. What was the point of hiring Gerard Mayo? Vrabel was he was available last year. If you bring in Mayo just to fire him after 1 year, like I don't know, the Patriots won 3 games. That was going to be regardless. Like the talent on the roster is just not there. So if they actually are going to get behind Vrabel and push the roster to a place of success, then okay, it's a pretty good move. I mean, we've seen him in Tennessee. We know he can coach a pretty decent or good team. He's a former Patriot, so he fits that mold as well that Mayo fit. But I don't think Mayo is getting along too well with people in the organization, or he just wasn't the coach they wanted to get behind. So the organization will move a lot different if they actually believe in the guy that they have at the coach position. So this is another team that has a young quarterback, Drake May. So already got the quarterback position. So let's see what you can do out that way. Liam Cohen, man, he had a crazy little route to get over there to the Jags. He went over there, interviewed. He wasn't messing with the GM that was there at the time. They fired him. Then he went back, interviewed. The Bucks are calling him. He's not answering the phone. Tampa Bay is we're pissed off with him, but he ended up taking the head coaching job in Jacksonville. I like it. Like I said, I'm always in favor of getting them young quarterbacks with an offensive-minded coach. He was with Tampa Bay. He had Baker looking pretty good. Baker has lost a coordinator now, I think 2 years in a row because Canales went to coach the Panthers. So we'll see how that works out. I don't think Jacksonville is just the worst situation. I'm not really sure. If there's any Jags fans just watching this, maybe y'all can explain more why it's not working out so much down there. But I think getting Trevor Lawrence to play more to his capabilities or his promise that he was, hyped upon, like hyped on him, that'll be a key factor in them actually doing something. Pete Carroll went to the Raiders. Like I said, I like that move as well because I feel like the Raiders need some discipline, and Pete Carroll's gonna come in there with a plan. He's gonna come in there and implement his style on that program, and hopefully solidify some things over there. They need a quarterback, but they got cap space. They got a top 10 pick. So, Brady's in the front office or whatever role he's in now. So, you know, they're doing the right things so far. Man, the AFC West got some coaches. They got Andy Reid, Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and now Pete Carroll. So it's gonna be tough over there. But if anybody can do it, or if it's a right guy to do it, Pete Carroll is on that route to do it. Kellen Moore with the Saints. I feel like the Saints was the worst head coach opening just for the fact of like asset wise. Like if you look everywhere else, I mean, between them and the Jets, the Jets got some young pieces over there. The Saints kind of like they cap space is bad. Quarterback is kind of unknown. I don't know what they're doing with Carr. Their stars on the team are aging. The defense is kind of aging. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu. Those guys are getting older. Marshawn Lattimore is already out of there. But I don't know. Kellen Moore just won a Super Bowl, so he ain't really got much to lose. He's playing with house money at this point. If he can go out there and turn it around, like I say, he's looked at as a genius. If he gets fired, whatever, he's gonna get another job regardless. This is his first time being a head coach, so I understand why he took the job. Hopefully, they give him 3 years to get stuff right over there before they start judging him. Because I do think he's gonna have to tear stuff down a little bit before he can actually implement his plan on the team. But I don't know. The Saints got a lot going on right now. Some perverted stuff going on out that way. We're not going to talk about it. Saints, just keep doing what you're doing, I guess. Stop doing what you're doing, actually. Aaron Glenn with the Jets. I like that move. Lions defensive coordinator. They just lost both their coordinators. It's tough. Aaron Glenn is a former Jet. He's going to come in and replace Robert Saleh, who I guess he didn't get along well with Aaron Rodgers. The Jets have already told Aaron Rodgers, he's not coming back. So now that distraction is out the door, we'll see what Aaron Glenn can implement over there. I like his coaching style. I think the players believe in him. I can see, how his players play for him, how they, rave about him. So we'll see what he can do over there. Like I said, the Jets kind of are in that Saints boat a little bit with me, just because I don't know, the quarterback's not already in place. But we'll see what they can do. And then, finally, Brian Schottenheimer with the Cowboys. Man, I don't know what the Cowboys are doing. You didn't even go out and seek really anybody to come in. I feel like you could have stuck with Mike McCarthy if you were going to promote his offensive coordinator. It just, I don't know what Jerry Jones is doing. You knew Deion wasn't coming there taking that job. You just sitting there, it's not a needle mover in a division with the Eagles and the Commanders. I don't know. I don't know what the Cowboys are doing. That's just the most unappealing head coaching. It doesn't inspire confidence in the next season for me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of fans agree with it as well. But I don't know. That's their problem. We'll let America's team do America's team type of things. But hey, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. We got a lot in today. I'm definitely glad to get on here. Hopefully next time we can figure out the camera situation when I'll be, maybe in a different setting, look a little better for, the pod. But like I said, man, definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, we love interacting with anybody who likes to talk sports. So if you want to come on, man, we like having people on the live streams.